Hi guys, I am back with a foundation collection declutter and comparison video. I'm kind of doing a review of all the foundations that I have and figure out which ones I'm going to let go of and which ones I'm going to keep. So I'm starting out with the one that I know I'm going to keep. I have a backup of it and you've heard me talk about this in so many videos. It's the Inglot AMC Cream Foundation in LW200. This is it has been my all-time favorite foundation. It has just everything I want. It is very good for, maybe first of all, before I begin with this, I should tell you that my skin is dehydrated and a little bit on the drier side, and I'm also a little bit sensitive, but other than that, I don't have many problems with my skin. But I can't have anything that's like mattifying or anything like that. So I'm going to talk about this guy in just a second. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Foundation. I'm comparing these two because they have become my two favorite foundations. This is starting to move on top of it. This is just, it gives a little bit more of that luminous glow than this one does. This one is a tiny bit more of a drier formula, not much, but this one is maybe even better for dry skin because of that radiance that it gives. But then again, this is a lot cheaper. I can't remember the price, but this is probably my most expensive foundation, the Charlotte Tilbury one, and this has 40 ml in it, and this has 30, so you still get a lot of product for your money. I don't mind the packaging of this one. It has this kind of tubey sort of package, but I do prefer this one because it has the pump. Although this is it glass or is it, I think it's glass, so it's maybe not as travel friendly as this one. So it all depends on what you like. So with this one, you can just apply it with whatever you have in hand. If it's your fingers, your sponge, a brush, whatever, it looks great no matter how you apply it. It is also buildable. You can use, I usually only use one layer, but I know I can use 2 layers as well. I have not tried more than that, but I know you can build it up and have it to be like a light to medium coverage, I would say, but it's still pretty light. This has even lighter coverage. This is not something you should go for if you have like acne prone skin or, you know, a lot of things to cover, but this is also buildable. So you can get from like very, very light coverage to almost a medium, but yeah, out of these two, this gives more coverage than this one. This is also a little bit more on the yellow side than the Charlotte Tilbury one. If you're familiar with the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation, the one with the red cap, I used to love that foundation, but it's not cruelty free. Both of these are, as far as I know. But that one is very similar to this one. I can't really tell them apart. Okay, I'm just going to call it CT foundation from now on. It's too long of a name. But compared to this Inglot foundation, the CTE foundation is a lot more like liquidy, sort of, like it has more of a watery consistency. It's just really more light, and you really have to shake it up before you apply it. So it is very glowy and beautiful on the skin. It has the perfect color for me. This is in the shade Fair. It wears well. It's expensive, but I will repurchase. If anyone's wondering, I am looking at my notes here on my phone because I just had to go through all of these one more time before I sort of decided on how I felt about them. So I just wrote everything I could think of that I felt was necessary information for you guys to know about the different ones. So yeah, I will repurchase this one, even though it's more of on the expensive side, just because it's really good. And this one has SPF 15. I'm not sure if this, I don't really think that this has any SPF. I used to really break out of any product that had SPF in it. So I used to steer away from foundations that contained SPF, but now it feels like it's okay. So it doesn't really matter anymore, I think. So I don't know. I have a backup of this one right here, and I just opened this one. So I will be having this foundation for a while, and I will probably repurchase. I'm not sure. I think so. But just because I really like this one so much, I might repurchase this one before that one. And also, again, I have a backup. I don't have a backup of this one. And I have used quite a lot. I'm maybe down to here now. So yeah, I'm keeping all of those. Also, I bought the Inglot foundation in store. And I got the CT foundation from feelunique.com. Next is the Pacifica Dreamy Cover Barefaced Serum Foundation. This has SPF of 20 and it's silicone free. Now, I had really high hopes for this foundation. You really have to shake it up. And the only serum foundation I've tried before this one is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation. I've used this one on clients. I like this a lot more than this one. This is all empty now, so I'm going to get rid of that one. But with this one, I was really disappointed. First of all, it's actually a little bit too light. I'll show you. I might swatch the two other ones as well. But it is super watery, as you might expect. I don't know, it doesn't look too light right now, but it's like, it's too yellow, and yeah, it's just too light. The good thing about this foundation is that it's cruelty free and less is more, as it says on the container, because just a few drops is enough to cover your whole face. Now, I can't really use this foundation because the worst thing is to put it around your eyes where you have a little bit of, you know, lines. It settles into those fine lines. It just creases everywhere, and when I try to apply it and like blend it out on my face, it just streaks sort of, and it just moves on top of the skin. It doesn't really absorb into the skin and become one with the skin. It's just laying there on top, which, you know, that doesn't work for me or anyone else for that matter. I've seen so many good reviews on this one. That's why I wanted to, I'm sorry about that shadow right here. That's why I really wanted to like this guy, but I don't. It says it's for all skin types, but at least for me, with a drier skin type, it did not work at all. So I've used it maybe 2 or 3 times, and I just gave up on it. So hopefully I'll give it to someone who can make this work, because I can't remember the price of this one either, of course, but it wasn't cheap, so I'm gonna get rid of it and give it to someone who might enjoy it. So that's the consistency of the Charlotte Tilbury one, if you wanted to see that. And I'll compare it with, that's the Inglot foundation. So The CT one is just lighter in consistency. This is more creamy and thicker, but they're still both really, really light. Then we have the Isadora Cushion Foundation in Nude Porcelain. This is the only cushion foundation I've tried. I really enjoyed this one. It's just like any other cushion foundation, I believe. You just have the following sponge, and it comes with a mirror and all that. And yeah, Isadora is also, I think it's a Swedish brand, which is cruelty-free. It's one of the fewer brands here in Norway that they sell in store that is cruelty-free, so that's great. But this one has even a more drier consistency than the other ones that I've talked about. It still works, I can make it work, but maybe not the best for, it's not like glowing and illuminating as some of the other ones. And it's definitely buildable, probably more buildable than any of the other ones that I talked about, but the shade is too dark for me, and this is, from what I know, the lightest shade. But I can't find this in store anymore, and so I'm just wondering if it's discontinued. I don't know. I did buy this guy from Isadora, which is the foundation color blender. So it's just like a dropper that you're supposed to mix your two dark foundations with. But I don't feel like, I bought this like a month ago, and I've checked the date on this because it feels like it's too old. Because you can't really, look at that, you can't really get anything out, and I've used it like 2 times. It's really super thick, and I don't really know what I was thinking, but because I was thinking that I was going to blend this with the cushion foundation, but I mean, it's really hard to blend a cushion foundation with this one. You kind of just have to blend it on top of each other on your skin. It's just a mess. So these two just obviously doesn't work together, which is completely my fault. But I'm going to keep this one and make it work maybe with other foundations. I don't know. I just got it, so I just want to make it work. But this one I also just got. Well, I got it this fall, but it's just too dark for me. So I'm going to give it away to someone I know will enjoy this. The last time I was in a Inglot store, I got these 3 samples of different foundations. Two of the same one, and then let's see. I got the Inglot Beautification, or Beautifier, in 101. This is basically just like a tinted cream. I got the lightest shade. It has sort of, it's almost pretty much identical kind of packaging as the CT foundation. It contains 30 ml and it comes in 8 shades. And this one is for sensitive skin. So it's very hydrating. It feels like a heavy moisturizer. It gives me a subtle glow, but absolutely no coverage at all. It's very easy to apply. I just used my fingers. So I think it's good to have like in the summertime when you don't really need much coverage, but I think I would prefer something that gives just a tiny, like evens out my skin tone a little bit, because this just felt like putting on like a daily moisturizer or something. So I guess if you're into that and you're not really looking for any coverage whatsoever, this will be good for you. But I will not repurchase or purchase this one, but I'll definitely use it up because it was a fine sort of moisturizer, I would say. Then we have the Inglot Cream Foundation. I got the number 20 and 26. So 20 is the lightest, I think, and 26 is one up. I don't think there's anything between these two, but they both work for my skin tone, but the darkest one here is probably the better option for me. It has more of a thicker consistency. It gives a little bit more of a matte finish. So you shouldn't have too dry of a skin. It gives light to maybe a medium coverage. And, oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. I mixed those two up. The first one I talked about has a tube of a packaging, and this one had the exact same packaging as the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. Sorry about that. This doesn't oxidize, which is great. This one does, by the way. It oxidizes a little bit. I just apply it best with a sponge, and the only thing, I mean, the pigmentation isn't that great, because since I can make both of these colors work, I'm kind of thinking that it's because of the pigmentation, but you know, I think these are better for my liking, for when it comes to like a sort of a BB cream. I might repurchase the cream foundation in 26. I think that would be great to use in the summertime. So, but I definitely will use up both of these as well. Then I just have like a few samples that I've tried, and this is just too old now. It's from Bare Minerals, just like a foundation powder. I have to get rid of that. And this is a sample of the Too Faced Born This Way in Sand. It's too dark for me. Yeah, I didn't love it. I had too dry of skin to make that work, I think. As well as this mineral powder foundation from Bare Minerals in Light. This is just also too dark. Yeah, it's too dark, but it's also too old. And then I just have a sample of the Lancome Miracle Air the Tint. I don't know. But this, I'm so sorry about this shadow. Is that better? Okay. But this is supposed to give a matte finish, so I don't need a matte finish, and I'm going to give that one away. I'm not sure what to do with this guy. This is the Pro Cosmetics Pressed Mineral Foundation Palette in Neutral, and I've mostly just used this this one, the lightest one, to just set my under eyes. As of now, I have so many powders, and all I really do is set my under eyes. I don't go all over my face. My skin is just too dry for that. But the intention when I got this was a gift, by the way, was to use it on clients. And it's a foundation powder, so it's a little bit heavy to set my under eyes with it. So I'm kind of wondering if I should let this go because it's getting older, and I'm not really doing anyone's makeup right now, and I probably won't be in a while. So I don't know. And I have a lot of other powders. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it for now, but I'm gonna have to think a little bit about this one. I find it very hard to get rid of things that was a gift. I just feel like it's so disrespectful of for the person that gave it to me, but I don't know. The last foundation I want to talk about is the Kiko BB Cream Colored Beauty Balm with an SPF of 15, and the color is Rose. I didn't think I would like this one when I first tried it because I like the container, or the tube, by the way, or the packaging. It comes out pretty white, and a little goes a long way with this one as well. And then you kind of just blend it into the skin, and as you blend, not immediately, but after a while, it turns into a color, which is a little bit too dark for me. It is a little bit too dark, but it kind of works in the summertime. I don't know, I just make it work somehow. So I used this pretty much all last summer, and I will use it for this summer. The consistency is very similar to the CT foundation, and this gives more coverage than any of those Inglot testers that I have, but it doesn't give much. Like, it's pretty much what you would expect from a BB cream. I really like this one. I'm not sure if I will repurchase because the color doesn't really work great for me, and I'm pretty sure this is the lightest color. I almost always buy the lightest color because I'm so fair. I'm thinking I want to keep this and I want to try to use it up during the coming summer. Maybe I'll put it in some sort of pan project. We'll see. Those are all my foundations that I have right now. I'm really into trying new foundations at the moment, and I have a few on my wish list. I might pick up another one from Kiko because that's just a brand that I really want to dig into this year and try some more of, because so far I kind of liked the stuff that I've tried. And also I really want to try one of the number 7 foundations. I can't remember what it's called, but I've heard good things. So I'll talk about more of those wish list items in a wish list video. I was thinking about making one of those because I really enjoy watching other people do their makeup wish lists, so and just get inspiration and check out new products. So I might do that, but this declutter left me with, I don't really know how to count this because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 full foundations left, and then I have 3 testers and one of these mixing foundations, and then the huge palette. So I'm not sure how I'm going to count this, but I guess you could say if I count this as one item, I am left with 6 foundations and a few testers. So I hope to use up all of the testers this year, and then hopefully I will use up this one, and maybe I'll get through one of those other foundations as well. We'll see. That was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next one. Bye!